Hello, Dr.Long here. Today we will be playing the cassette that was tagged with SCP-012, 013, 014, 015, 016, 352, 555, 610, 701, and 871. And it's titled The Long Goodbye. I'll start the recording, and I'll see you folks in the next one. I'm sinking and 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 the hell am I? I yell. Nothing, not even the sound of my own voice. At least I don't think so. Wait, did I hear something? No, it's just an endless white void as far as my eyes can see. It's like an ocean or maybe a desert. There's no texture, no sound, not even the steady thud of my own heart. I try to look at my hands, but I can't see them. I can't even feel them. It's like they're not there. I try to close my eyes, but I still see white. Am I dead? Think. I gotta think. I tried coaxing up the memories, some thoughts of how I might have ended up in this miserable place. There was a room, right, a room, and an old woman, and a wheezing laughter, and then there was a grenade, and, oh, right, shit, there was an explosion. Without even thinking, I dove down through the veil to escape, as deep as I could, deeper than I ever knew possible, and now I'm, shit. What the hell is this place? How many layers deep have I gone? I concentrate, focusing on searching the invisible thread that connects me to my world. I wrap my consciousness around it and I start to pull. I run myself through the endless ocean of white. Inch by excruciating inch, I feel myself press against the boundaries of this place. I feel myself pushing through them. And then, I feel something grab me. I can feel my limbs, my hands, my feet, my body. I still can't see them, but I can sense them. Something has me by the ankle. It's trying to pull me down, deeper into the layers beneath this one. A layer below whatever this emptiness is. I pull with everything I got. It feels like an anchor tied to my foot. My muscle spasm as a sharp stabbing pain lances through my calf and knee. It feels like whatever's pulling on me might take the whole foot with it. If it means I'm getting the hell out of here, it can have my foot. Hell, it can have my whole goddamn leg. I rear my hunter boot and then slam it down, feeling my heel collide with something. Suddenly, my ankle slips free. I reel myself up, squeezing against the membrane, pressing through it, and then into an apartment. Thick, plush brown carpet, coats on the floor. The walls are hideous shade of peach pink. The hair is stale and old. I squeeze the palm of my 45 and give a room a quick sweep, looking for anything out of place. Am I back? Is this Chicago? My Chicago? Everything looks ordinary. Table, desk, sunlight pouring in through the window. I take a step towards the light. Outside I see a small corner diner. Further in the distance I see a hot dog cart. I see the sidewalk, lampposts, storefronts, and automobiles, but not a single soul. When I take a step back, my butt sinks deep into the thick carpet. I look down. It's not just brown. There's streaks of black, gold, occasionally wispy curls of copper red. Something about it catches my eyes. I crouch down to examine the fibers. They're fine, too fine. The material is hair. My eyes drift to that grotesquely pink wall. I start to notice the imperfections, blemishes, pocks, marks, scars, beauty marks. Skin. It's made of goddamn skin. I close my eyes and grab hold of the tether and climb as fast as I can I feel myself slip through a world of rotting, putrid flesh, filled with deafening roar of billions upon billions of buzzing flies, gathered into blankets of writing black indents into blots in the sky. An abandoned factory so immense that it contains all of Chicago, contains the entirety of the sky, and the sun itself. Chicago, but choked in smoke and flames, the sound of gunfire rattling off in the distance, and every single door through the city flung open. A sea of screaming faces, all squeezed together so tightly they constantly burst into bright pink-red bulbs, only to reform instants later. And then, I'm in what looks like an hospital room. There's only one door, and it's behind me, solid steel. It looks like some sort of thing you'd use to keep monsters out. A wizened old woman stands in front of me, cloaked in dark fabric, or maybe it's to keep the monsters in. I point my 45 straight at her ugly mug. Alright, lady, talk! I'm trying to pull my tether, but it's not working. I can't sense it, as if it's been snipped. Her eyes brighten up with amusement. Something snakes its way from beneath her clothes. It looks like hair. Dozens and dozens of strands of gray hair, writhing out past her feet, slowly extending across the floor. She clucks her tongue.
Really? Now you don't recognize me? After you went through so much to find me?
Iga Volodia. My eyes narrow. Your face is different. Also, pretty sure you're dead.
I have many faces. More than there are stars in the sky.
She chortles to herself, then grins. Her teeth gleam like a platter full of steak knives.
Today you have seen two. Perhaps if you are very clever, you will see more.
Alarms shriek around us. The room is flooded with a bright, flashing red light.
But enough reminiscing. I did not pull you here to chatter. We have business to attend, you and I. Follow me. I will show you the way back to your precious city, Yashenka.
She turns and we are back in Chicago. The city is in state of decay. Buildings come crashing down, cars are flung over their sides, torn asunder. The streets are covered in rubble. In the distance, I see Roanoke building. It's littered with dozens of human-sized holes, with the count of each room dangling out of its flapping tongue. I feel a dry, scorching wind blowing against my back. A strange force tugs at me, drawing me towards the source of the heat. Iga Volodia walks ahead, moving with a surreal calm. I look back, the sky's horrible shade of tangerine. In the distance, far past the city, there's a bright, burning light. It is towards this light I feel myself being pulled. I turn to Iga. A newspaper brushes past my ankle. I catch the snippet of the headline before it blows away. Mysterious force draws corpse toward. We keep walking. What the hell is this?
Have you ever thought about how many ways the world can end?
Is this what this is? The end?
It is every end.
She looks back at me with an horrible grin.
And do you know why none of these ends come to pass?
I open my mouth to reply and... We're standing in the kitchen. A family of four sits in front of us preparing to enjoy a warm meal. But the family isn't right. They aren't people. Not anymore. They're made of pink pulsating flesh, heaps of it piled into vague resemblance of human beings. Too many arms, too few legs, bulging mounds of meat that throb with every heartbeat. The food is the same. Plates quivered in tumors, spread their tendrils out across the table. To my left, I think I see the family dog, just a mound of rolling convulsing muscle. It extends its ribbon-like tongue and licks the bowl filled with wriggling, squiggling tissue. Iga Volodia surveys the scene beside me. She looks annoyed. Your work? I ask.
People always think so, but no, we did not do this.
We? She looks at me.
Practitioner of Nalka, the children of Ion. Like yourself.
Sarkites. She nods.
Like yourself.
I tighten my grip on my 45. I ain't one of you. The flesh around us steers. Although they do not have eyes, the family seems to have noticed us. A deep, dark, hateful glow emerges from their bodies. I point the pistol at the biggest one.
But you are Yashenka. You see it just as clear as me. The corruption, the wrongness, and you fight it.
With a terrible gurgling roar, the family lunges to their feet. I squeeze the trigger and... I'm pointing the gun at a wall. We're back in the city street. It's nighttime. There are people here, running past and yelling. I glance behind me. We're standing in front of the Chicago Theater. I can hear the sounds of the screen coming from inside.
Again, do you know why these ends do not come to pass?
A man in a suit leads the SWAT police past us, charging the theater's door. They're packing serious heat, and their faces are all business. I turn to the city skyline. It's dark, but I can make a distant fire. The screams aren't just from inside the theater. I think I can hear them everywhere, all around us. My eyes drift towards the theater's marquee. One night only, The Hang King, live on radio.
They do not come because they are ends. Because to end is to cease. And our suffering is not meant to cease. Our suffering is eternal.
I turn back to her, lowering my pistol. You done with the cryptograms, Grandma? She smiles, exposing her sharpened teeth.
And so, we fight fire with fire, corruption with corruption. The universe is sick, and we seek to use that sickness against it.
Enough, tell me who. Cut you open. Who's using you to harvest the worms? To help Wheeze? Who? The ground beneath us is spongy. Mishmash of color churched together into a mush-like brown. The smell of sweetness, it leaves me doubled over and choking. The earth gives underneath my weight. My left foot sinks down into the loamy soil with a horrible squelch. A thick, white froth seeps up around my ankle. That sickening sweet odor intensifies. Eagle looks down at me.
Someone who perverts our belief. Someone you will find. Someone you will stop.
I don't... The earth beneath me is slowly sucking me in. My ankles are gone, my calves are sinking. More of that cream gushes out, rising up past my knees. I try to pull myself up, but my pals sink down. I don't work for you. My eyes focus on the landscape behind her. Rolling hills, plateaus, mountains of mush. I think I see a rock formation poking out somewhere. No, not rocks. That's the top of a steeple.
You do not work for me. But we are on the same side. The side of the angels. The side of Ikunan.
Down to my waist now. I try to move my legs, but the mush just squishes out the way and I sink faster. That's the side that eats babies, right? Just checking. I read your file. You're a goddamn monster. I'm about to drown in a sea of sugary mush, and she's Baba Yaga. Pissing her off feels like the right move. She doesn't seem offended. Instead, she just smiles and reaches down to stroke my cheek with her gnarled, wrinkled fingers.
Oh my dear little Yashenka.
She coos.
Of course I am a monster. What else but a monster could ever hope to defy the stars themselves?
Down to my shoulders now. Her cruel hand snaps to seize my hair and force my head back. I open my lips to say something, maybe just to yell, but she spits right into my mouth. Something wet and awful hits the back of my throat. I feel it burning. Everything is burning. I feel like I'm on fire. Her voice rumbles above me, croning with a hateful, loving snarl.
Avenge me, Jacob Heartless. Do it as a favor, from one monster to another.
She whispers into my ear. The universe dissolves. The remains of a cramped little tenement room smoldered around me. A wispy haze of smoke fills the space. The scent of burned and burning wood is everywhere. The canisters have all shattered, spilling nauseous chemicals and glass all over the floor. A fresh coat of charred igavolodia with some scorched worm meat thrown in decorate the walls. Sirens wail in the distance. The wall behind me has but disintegrated. I step over what's left of the door into the hall. A family of 4, ma, pa, 2 kids, stand at the other end of the hall staring at me. I glance back at the ruins, then look at them. What? They rush back into their apartment, slamming the door behind them. I make my way down the stairs, out the door, and back into the bustling streets of Chicago. I take a good, long moment to savor the sight and smell of the windy city. And then I go hunt down the nearest stray phone.
So it's not Sarkites.
I didn't say that. I rub my neck. My voice is hoarse. I keep having to clear my throat. I'm just saying it ain't Iga Volodia.
You're sure?
About as sure about it as I am about anything. I got a name. I tell her, fishing to my pocket for another stick of gum.
You already had a name.
Well, now I got a better one. My fingers tremble a little as I struggle to unwrap the foil, jamming the stick into my mouth. William Reinhardt.
Dr. Reinhardt?
Yeah, you know him? I stopped at you and give a smile to the flathoods running by. They're chasing the fire truck on its way to Volodia's former residence.
He's a highly respected alienist and physician.
Wait a sec, physician? Didn't Weiss bring his personal physician with him when he visited that stoolie who pulled out that one-day Lazarus act? He ever worked for Weiss?
He's a private physician. It's possible, but...
She sounds unconvinced. Put whatever you got on him. Send it to my office. Also, I'm gonna need... I take in a deep breath and steady myself. I'm gonna need a favor, September. I need you to arrange a meet and greet for me.
With who?
Richard Chappell. The line goes quiet for a little. I let her have this one. Hell, I wouldn't know what to say either.
Are you sure?
I don't like it, but yeah, I'm sure.
Alright.
Call my office tomorrow with the details. I'll be in.